to cry too. Hi.
Michelle, when you stop crying, will you marry me? Yes, I want to put it on and dance.
Hi everyone.
Hey guys, welcome back. What do I say? Welcome back. Sorry.
Yes, you can say welcome back. Welcome back to our channel, the Masekos. Before we start today's video, very interesting. We will just be taking a little time to just say thank you to everyone who subscribed. We truly appreciate it. We cannot emphasize that enough.
Absolutely.
We are very grateful, very happy, very appreciative of those who have supported us so far in this journey.
Yeah.
Means the most, means the world, and we don't look down on these beautiful, humble beginnings of even having more than 100 subscribers already, which is wonderful.
That's
it's amazing, and we're grateful.
People,
100 people, real people, and we're super grateful for that. And thank you so much. And we hope you continue to enjoy our content.
Yeah.
Share it with others out there, and yeah, hopefully this will just be a positive space for us to grow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome. Now, today's video, guys, is about my quest, my journey in saving up for Lobola to get married to this lovely lady next to me. I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
All right. In fact, before I do speak about my journey, I just want to put a disclaimer up there for Lobola. You know, it's my perspective, and so this is counsel to gents who are interested in building a household with a lovely lady to be in it. You know, Lobola is very important. I know there are some people who have this idea that no, it's between my partner and I. If we don't want to do that, then we won't. If we want to be honest with you guys, I advocate for Lobola because it's a statement, and it's a statement you're making to primarily two parties. Firstly, the woman that you wish to take. You're making a statement to her, proving to her that you find her as a worthy person to establish a household with, you know. And secondly, which is most importantly, is the family, the woman's family. I mean, you are acknowledging to them that, hey, this person did not grow from a tree. This person was raised, and the principles that she now possesses, you have looked at and you have deemed her to be worthy for you to establish a household with. So it's very important, guys. Make that
Africans,
a priority. Culturally,
it's
big.
Yeah. Declaration of love.
Absolutely.
And that I can take care of you and I'm here for you, and
and don't look at it as, oh, it's a bank transaction, or no, it's that's not what it is. In essence, it's exactly what I've just explained right now. And so that's what I was advocating for. And now I'll start sharing my story then. With me, I made a decision that I am going to marry Michelle. This was 2017. That was the decision. That was when I made the decision. No longer about fantasizing about it, but making it reality now. And when I decided to make that decision, first person I consulted was my dad. The reason why I spoke to my dad about it was because he would always advocate for me to think for the future, and never be shy to come speak to him about those kind of things, you know. And he knew Michelle, and he knew that we were dating, so it was easy for me to approach him. But yeah, it was 2017. Now, why that's crucial is because I only started working and saving up for it in 2016. Well, I started saving up in 2017. My first job was tutoring at the University of Johannesburg. When I started tutoring there, that was the first time I had a bank account in my life.
So yeah, I'll just be adding my 2 cents. This is really his video explaining how he was able to save, all he was able to save in the short amount of time, which I actually realized was a year today. I thought it was 2 years this whole time. And Lumuntu took a year to save a large sum of money, you know. And with the bank account thing, it's so crazy that he got to that point without a bank account, because he was one of those, you know, me having my finance background and, you know, knowing all I know about accounting and all of those things, we'd always have like back and forth about how important it is to have a bank account and to save money properly. And he was just of that mindset: sweep it under the rug, put it under the mattress, which was just like, really.
I had the Lokshin mentality, you know.
Oh my goodness.
I want to see cash. And so I always liked seeing myself having cash, and I would hide it in all sorts of places. I'd hide it under the bed. I'd hide it in the box of my PlayStation, you know. Sometimes I would hide it like inside the TV. I could open the TV and just hide money there, you know. My TV, of course. It's just places people wouldn't think about. But so I would save up money that way until I had a bank account in 2016. Now, what was nice about that is that when I got the tutoring job, I was only earning 2.8, by the way. 2,800. This was 2016. And yeah, I started saving up a lot of money. I wanted to monitor how far I can go, like within a month, and how much would I have left.
Was this monthly? Because I know with some tutoring jobs, I also tutored a bit at WITS, and we received, it was semester based. Yeah. So was yours like monthly? Or?
No, mine was monthly.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was monthly, plus you could have add-ons when you're marking.
Oh,
so when there are exams and assignments, we'd all want to mark as much as we can. And we turn up to university as zombies, you know, because you don't sleep.
I remember, I think you had moments you would sleep at the university and go home. Did you sleep even like in the library or toilet or something? Oh my gosh, it was such an extremist.
It was in the library. There's a 24-hour section in the university library. So I would sleep there, you know. Sometimes I wouldn't sleep. I would just be marking, trying to get through marking, because traveling from Johannesburg to Springs was quite far. So sometimes if I leave late, then it's too late. Hey, your work is not so safe. So yeah, I would just stay in university. But yeah, that was my journey. That's how I started. In 2017, I started saving up, and I also used to sell books. I used to sell textbooks. Yeah, that was a huge thing for me. How I started with it, by the way, was one girl, I won't say her name, but if she's watching, you know yourself, you know. So she sold me books when I was in first year. And then what happened was, there was one class sitting there and the lecturer is saying, page 48. And everyone is paging to page 48, and they start speaking, and my page 48 looked totally different to everyone else's page 48.
Sure.
And yeah, then the lecturer told me, no, you've got the wrong book. That one is old. We used to use it then, so there are certain chapters that are uncovered. And so I needed to buy another book, you know. And it really annoyed me. So when I was in second year, I didn't want people to go through the same kind of stresses, you know. So I started selling books. It was only to a small group in second year. Third year is when it grew, because then that's when I was tutoring. I had a class. I would sell to a whole class. So I'd have a class of like 150.
Word of mouth. And also what really helped him, just to chip in, is his personality and his love for people, and how people were just able to easily trust him. And that's how his business grew and how God made it become such a huge thing from those little 100 rands that you'd make. I guess he'll explain how he made that textbook money now.
Yeah.
But yeah, his personality was just a huge plus for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, for me, what I sold was not just textbooks. I sold relationships. Yeah, my drive was that I'm not interested in selling a book to a person. I'm interested in developing a relationship where I'm going to be selling books to one person.
Yep.
So what I mean about that is repeat business is the key.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a big achievement when you sell one book to one person and then that's it.
That's it.
I always wanted to sell books to one person. When they're in first year, I sell them books for second year. When they're in second year, I'll take their books from first year, sell them. So now I'm selling for them. Now I'm working for them, and I'm also selling them books for second year. You know, and when they're in third year, take the second year books, sell their second year books, and then get
like
them, you know, sell third year books to them. Yeah. So I would have people who would first year, second year, third year, honors. There's one guy even in masters. I'm still selling books for him, you know.
Sure.
So that's what I did. I started off with our faculty, with our department, and then I started moving on when I started realizing that other courses also use similar textbooks than what we did, like people doing anatomy, kinesiology. It was more than just the sport department, you know. So that's how I started growing and growing. Eventually I was now selling even to other campuses like in Soweto. First time I went to Soweto campus was to sell a book. And so it became a huge thing for me, you know. And yeah, it was very important for me. I even started selling books to like companies. There were people from Holland called me wanting books. So I had a big range, and that's how I started making a whole lot of money. Yeah, and the thing about it is I can't tell you how much I was making a month because it fluctuates.
Yeah, business is like that.
Yeah, you know, beginning of the year you make a lot, but when it comes to before exams, no one's buying a book, so you'd have absolutely nothing from textbooks. Yeah, so that's what I was doing. And a lot of you watching here also, you know me through textbooks, so you can testify to this.
Yeah.
If you had a bad experience with me, please let it out, because I don't believe there was a single customer I let down.
Because you had a lot of integrity as well.
Yes.
With business.
What I used to do as well is when people would leave, if you drop out and I had your books, I'll make sure I find you. Get your number, and once I've sold the book, I tell you, hey, I sold your book, even if it was 3 weeks ago, even if it was a month ago. So I sold your book, I've got your money, I need to pay you your money. And yeah, so that was very crucial for me. It was,
and God
it was a principle.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, God rewarded that a lot, hey? Yeah, because
so if you saved up for Lobola in a year, but you started making the money before you decided to save up for Lobola, what prompted you to feel like now you can actually save up for Lobola?
Okay, to be honest with you, when I finished the year, all right, so this was the third year, I managed to pay tuition myself.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It wasn't the whole amount, so I had some bursaries. I was pretty smart in university. And so what happens at UJ is if you're doing pretty well for certain modules, then you get discounted figures from it. So my tuition went down. I think it was like 11,000, 12,000. And so I paid up my tuition.
Sure.
Yeah, through it was 14,000. I paid it up. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, hey, hang on. If I can make 14,000 in a year, you know, just from this tutoring and also textbooks. And remember, I didn't stay in rest. So I would have traveling.
And he stayed at home, so he was traveling from Springs to Joburg, which is, you know, quite a distance.
It's quite far,
Not cheap, even with taxis. So
yeah, definitely. But praise God, it was during the train days, you know, for me.
Oh, yes.
So it saved a lot with the train.
Yeah,
but
the unreliable train.
Yeah, but sometimes you'd have to take taxis because train would be very slow and you'd be late.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was the moment when I realized that, hey, hang on, there's something that could brew here. There's something I could do something very meaningful. And yeah, I thought the most important thing is to secure the woman I want to make my wife, and I want to build with her. She knew this. I was lucky. She loved me as a Bob the Builder, but that's because we're very young anyway when we started.
Yeah, and just to emphasize, I was very unaware that this was what he was doing. I knew of the textbook business and everything, but I didn't think it was like a huge amount of money. I thought it was like, 100 rand nyana, little money here and there that he's making, because like nothing really changed between us. Like our dates were still the same. He'd still take me out, still spoil me as he would. Everything was just the same. So I just had no idea that he had started saving up. I thought, once we're done with school honors, then he's going to start saving up for Lobola actually, in his own time. No pressure on him.
Yeah.
Because I had no intentions of helping him out with that.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, and judge and Jelabo who decide to help their partners, their men with Lobola. Like,
that's bad. That shouldn't happen.
It's not even like a thing to consider, because I think even with respect in your marriage, like I really make sure to respect him quite a bit and show him that I respect him and love him. I think it would have been harder for me if I knew we'd seen him seizing.
Yeah.
Like I had to help you, and because we're just rushing to get married. No, just trust in the process. Trust that this man is going to show me he's a man and he can care for me and he can support me and he can provide me, no matter what my career is or the CA or whatever. I think it's very important to allow a man, not that it has to be flashy things, but just to show you that he can hold you down, in that manner, and that he's willing to give you that effort. Yes, maybe there might be instances where he's not able to, and life happens, but I think when you're starting off a marriage, let your husband to be show you that he can provide. He can do that. So yeah,
and remember, everything you go through during the time pre-marriage, everything you go through, it will be repeated during marriage,
amplified.
It will be amplified.
Amplified.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I made it a point that I would never tell her how much I'm saving. Never tell her what I'm saving for. Also, what I would do though would be gauging like her mindset, where she is. I'll throw up these ideas, asking her, would you want to be married? How would you cope with being engaged? I once asked her, how would you cope with being engaged in school? And she was laughing and like, no ways.
And I'm like, he's just talking this one because he just talks. We just talk about everything.
And she was like, no, if I'm engaged, I don't want to wait long before married and whatnot.
I had no idea. I was like, you're not gonna engage me and then we're gonna be engaged for a long
time. She said 5 years or 6 years.
Yes, engaged. People. No, I'm gonna stroll for a long time, and then when you're ready, you're ready. Like I just wanted really the process to, once it starts, it's done. Yeah,
absolutely. And with my textbook money, how I used to make that. So if a book was like less than $500, then I'll take $50. But that's negotiable as well. I could take more depending on who I'm selling the book for. And then if the book was $500 upwards, I would take a minimum of $100 and negotiate with whoever I'm selling for.
And textbooks are expensive, hey?
Yeah. Oh, you get it. There was a book I loved. Oh, it was 1.9. Oh, I love that book so much. So imagine.
And you use it for a year. It textbooks, I'm telling you.
Yeah, second year book, I'll just sell it for $900. A second-hand book. And it's 1.9. Sell it $900. I remember this one guy, Dylan. My man. A Liverpool fan. I sold that book for him, $900, and he was like, "Nah, you did all the work, man. You can give me $400." It was then when I realized that, hey, I could build something really, really big, and my perspective was future. And so, to be honest with you, with my Lobola, I'm not going to disclose the figure, of course, because it's very confidential.
Yeah, but it was a lot.
Yeah. Probably you could say from, let's say, 60 to 90,000, around that figure, you know, somewhere between there. And and keep in mind, I was only tutoring and selling textbooks. Yeah, and there were setbacks as well. It wasn't just all smooth, you know. There were setbacks. Been strangled in Joburg. That time was very bad because I was walking around with so much money, like almost 4,000, you know, and lost both my phones. I used 2 phones, so I had to recover my phones as well. Yeah, so it was an experience with positives and negatives, but in spite of all those negatives, I still managed to reach my goal, because that proves what God can do for you.
Yeah, and we fought a lot also in 2017 when he decided he's going to save Lobola. But he's still stuck, committed to that goal, even when our relationship wasn't in the best of places. Because I did mention CTA was really, or my honors year was really rocking me. So our relationship was also rocked, but he didn't waver. He still stuck it out. So yeah.
And so, yeah, I decided, for me, it was a future investment, and I could not imagine my future without her. That was the most important thing for me when it comes to my future.
Yeah.
And so no, we did this. We prayed, my father and I, and kept saving. And what was important was that the relationship maintained the standard. You know, I didn't want to starve myself, of course. And also, I didn't want to take away the things that she had loved about our relationship.
Yeah.
Things like going out, having dates, going to McDonald's, horse riding. I remember that one vividly, you know. Those kind of things, even going for massages. I loved that. I wanted to retain that kind of grade while I was saving.
Yeah, because it keeps you committed to saving.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have a goal and you want to save as much as possible, but to keep you going, it needs to be also realistic for you to stay committed. So don't like cut off everything, most cutting off your arm when you still want to function. So
no, absolutely. So that's what I did. And look, if I can share a principle as well with guys, just make sure that when you are working with Lobola, you are saving for that, you do not factor in things like loans and those kind of stuff. This has to be completely from savings, you know.
Yeah, it's a principle. It's really like principle.
Absolutely, because you are setting the tone for how your household and marriage will be.
And your finances and how you're going to support and stand by your family.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's that was what was dominant in my mind, that hey, I'm gonna make sure I save up as much as I can, and I won't be
in a short space
looking
of
at loans. And I had no credit score anyway, so I could even afford loans. But
exactly, as a student.
Anyway, so that was it for us. That was it for me during that time. Lessons I got is, hey, look, if you commit something, you commit it to God, He certainly does pull through for you. Hey, because I look back, I've actually never saved as much anymore. With better jobs, I've never saved. That was like close to 100k, you know.
A testimony really from God to be like,
And the other beautiful thing as well is that shortly afterwards, there was a condition, my Lobola, that for her to leave her household, she needs to live in a white dress, you know.
So we needed to
have a wedding,
married,
and a white wedding. So
at least that's when I could now step in. And now we put infants together for the wedding.
That one, no, it's for you guys. But Lobola, she must back off.
And also we didn't have any part in the Lobola money for the wedding, just to clarify. Because others would be like, it helps. No.
No. Anyway. we don't know what
right
happened to
along.
that mind there,
Moving
but
right
anyway.
along. Yeah, it's a cultural thing. It went where it went to, but
Yeah.
it did not assist in the wedding that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so and just to wrap off this video, then the principle behind it really is it's an investment for your future. And so for me, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. I don't regret it. If I could rewind time and do it over again, I definitely would, you know, because look what it's brought me. It's brought me a wonderful wife, brought me a wonderful child, a household I can call my own.
Yeah.
And I'm so
principles
blessed.
for life. We're really disciplined with money, I'd like to think.
Yeah.
Even now as we've grown and have more and in a position where we can get certain things very quickly with dates, we are still very principled with that. So yeah, I appreciate that about us, and I learned that mainly from him as well. Even though yes, I have a finance background and I know lots about money, but seeing him do that great testimony of love to me and God helping him do that within a year, save all of that money within a year, made me really appreciative and humbled, and just also knowing the value of discipline, because discipline is something I value a lot. And I was so happy to know that I have someone beside me who's also very disciplined, even more so with money than I am, you know, and that was really, really important. It's been great for our family. We don't have any debts currently. Yeah, not really.
No. I stay away from debt.
We run away from it. So we don't have any. So we just building and saving, and it's just great to be in that space where you're both disciplined with money. So yeah, we just wanted to share, especially encouragement for gents. Ladies, if you and your man are at that stage where you're discussing, you can please share this video with him as well, so that he gets some tips, some advice, and some encouragement. Even if you are in a job that is not so high earning, just know that you can do great things. And God, honestly, when because he places those desires in our hearts as well, that you feel like, okay, this is now the next step, he does great things with that. So don't be disheartened, don't lose faith. Don't look at social media and think that, oh, I need to have this high earning crazy job. You can do so much with the little that you have, and with effort and with faith. You know, faith of a mustard seed can move mountains. So yeah,
absolutely. And please, ladies, don't pressure your gents.
I'm just saying, if you're in talks of that, if it's something you've discussed, then you can be like, oh babe, here's a video to watch just to keep you going, since we were talking about Lobola. And encourage him, not now for you to tag team and save together. No. And
gents, look, if this thing is in your heart, you'll definitely achieve it. There is something that God put in a man's heart, that when a man has a vision and pursues that thing, God just makes it work, you know, especially if it has to do with establishing a household, because that's the most wonderful thing you can get as a man.
So yeah, thank you for watching. We know it was a bit of a long one, but hopefully it's a good one. So please do share, give us a huge thumbs up, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.
All right. Thank you. Bye.